I'm an old man and I love old movies. Some people say I love old movies because I'm an old man. I don't think there's a connection, because these movies are a lot older than I am, and I watched these movies even as a youth. They're classics and they're wonderful, and I'm going to talk about one today. Well, hello there. Old Man Kelley here, Jeff to my friends, and you can call me Jeff. So I've decided to use this vlog to talk about some of my favorite films. Every now and again, maybe every other week or 2 or 3 weeks, I'll talk about one of my favorite films. And like I said, I'm an old man, and my favorite films reflect the fact that I'm an old man, I think. I'm not a big fan of most movies nowadays. These new superhero movies that are always coming out, they bore the hell out of me. They really do. Some of the dialogue's okay and the humor they put in there, but these action scenes that just go on, and the main characters can't really be hurt. Once you find out a character can't be hurt, I'm taken out of the movie completely. You know, when Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man gets thrown through the air, hits the side of a building, cracking the mortar or brick or whatever, and falls to the ground, and he gets up like nothing's wrong. Well, I'm checked out. It just at that point it doesn't matter to me. It's if you can't hurt, if the main character doesn't have a weakness, then it's pointless. But anyway, let's forget about that. Let's talk about the movies that I love. Now I don't rank movies. I should tier movies. There's a top tier, and I have a lot that go up there, and then a middle tier, and I've never stopped to actually figure this out. But I'm going to talk about some of my top tier movies. So the movie I consider a top tier movie, if a film that when it's on, when like Turner Classic Movies shows it, I have to watch it. And my wife gets sick of me watching these movies. But the film I'm going to talk about today is 1949's The Third Man, directed by Carol Reed.
The Third Man, hated by 1,000 men,
desired by one woman.
the third man, hanging is too good for him.
Nothing is too good for the third man.
Her man was the third man.
The man on every woman's lips.
Love this movie. Love this movie. It stars Joseph Cotten as Holly Martin, who writes bad pulp novels, his character. You know, like old Western novels, The Hero of Santa Fe or something like that. And he goes out to Vienna right after World War II, which is controlled by, I guess, different governments have different sections or something, you know, and he goes out there to take a job with an old friend, Harry Lime, who's played by Orson Welles. Now, Orson Welles is only in the movie for about 5 or 6 minutes, but it's a wonderful 5 or 6 minutes. But he gets there and finds out that his friend, Harry Lime, has recently passed away, was killed in a car accident. And he arrives just in time for the funeral. But of course, you know now that Orson Welles plays Harry Lime, so he can't really be dead. And there's a girl involved. It was Harry Lime's ex-girlfriend, and he gets involved with her and starts investigating what actually happened to his friend. And there's an English policeman or whatever that's sort of keeping tabs on him, and they go out, and he wants him just to leave. So he's like, forget about it, just go home. And he discovers things about his friend Harry Lime that he would rather not know. And eventually, of course, he finds out that Harry Lime isn't dead. Because it's called The Third Man because at the scene of the death, as people talk about it, he finds out there was another man there. At first there was 2 men there, and he finds out there was a third man there. Who was the third man? And it's got one of the best reveals I've ever seen, where they finally reveal that Harry Lime is not dead, he's alive, and it's wonderful. It takes place at night with the lights, and the whole film is beautifully shot. The lights, it's black and white, of course, but lights and shadows and all that. Weird Dutch angles constantly, and it's done. I can't talk about it enough. You have to see it. That's the only thing. And if you like zither music, it's filled with zither music. One guy did all the music. In fact, he got so popular with the zither after this movie came out that he was able to open his own nightclub, which he called The Third Man. Pretty fascinating. I've also read that Martin Scorsese did a thesis on this movie in film school, and his teacher returned it with a B+ grade, writing on the front, "Forget it, it's just a thriller." That's why Martin Scorsese now is one of the biggest directors in the world, and his teacher still teaches, because he didn't recognize the genius of this movie. The only other thing I'm going to say is it's got one of my favorite endings. It's a 2-minute shot at the end, static shot. I don't want to spoil the end for you. Apparently they filmed 2 endings, a happier ending and the ending that's in the movie. The one in the movie is the one you should see, because it's the perfect end to this movie. Now, one word of caution: this movie is public domain, and there's a lot of bad versions out there, bad cuts, scenes missing from versions, and that type of thing. If you're gonna watch it, Turner Classic Movies shows it all the time, and I would advise seeing it. I mean, they usually have the best prints. Or, go out and buy it or something. I don't know. But so that's my recommendation. You go out and watch The Third Man. I think you'll like it. And this is Old Man Kelley saying thanks for watching. I'll be back next week with not a movie review. I'm going to do something different, but I'm going to do these every now and again, The Third Man. Worth watching.